although we need to know how to solve systems of equations because many things in science and engineering do come out to be systems of equations, another good thing about knowing how to solve systems of equations is we can change second, third, fourth order equations into systems of linear first order equations. And that's what this lesson is about. How do you change higher order equations to systems of linear equations? So we'll see how this works for the second order equations. Now, we're going to be making sure that we change our variable to t. Now that's simply so that we can use y's and x's as our functions. So we want our independent variable to be a t. If the functions are given as functions of x, we will just change them into t's. I'll show you the mechanics of that in the fourth lesson for chapter 35. However, we'll choose y prime to be x, and that would make the second derivative of y equal to the first derivative of x. So here in this equation is how it works. Now again, there are no x's anywhere in this equation. So we are again assuming that we're solving for y as a function of t. So again, there's no t's in here, but we get to a spot where we need a variable. The variable is t. So here's how the process goes. All we're going to do is solve this for y double prime. Use the substitution. Y prime equals x. That means that the second derivative of y is the first derivative of x. Well, the second derivative of y, notice, is given right here. So here's our second derivative of y, which is x prime. And all we do is change the y prime here into an x. And so that is how we convert a second order equation into a system of first order equations. Now for a third order equation, what we're going to do is like we just did. Use an x for y prime, only for y double prime, which is the same as x prime, we'll use a z. So we'll come up with x, y's, and z's. Now we'll start this like we did the previous one by solving for the y triple prime. We'll use the substitution y prime equals x and y double prime equals x prime. And we'll do the third derivative of y, which is called z prime. We will take what we just solved and substitute that. And then just keep substituting. This y double prime is x prime, which is also z. And that will give us our system. We have x prime, that's here, equal to z. X prime equals z. I put these zeros in there so we kind of keep things lined up. We've got y prime here equals x. Here's y prime equals x. And again, I put these in there just to help line things up. And then the final one, which was z prime. All we've done is switch places with the y and the z so that we could write this in standard order. 0x minus 9y plus 5z plus t squared. So there's our system of equations. And I'll show you in, again, lesson 4 how to solve these once we have them converted.